Hi there, today we're going to be talking about squid, calamari, and how we can prep them. Squid or calamari is one of those things that people will quite often order and eat in restaurants, but won't necessarily prep for themselves at home. So we're going to run through today exactly what that entails, how easy it is, and hopefully get you prepping some at home after having watched this video. I love squid personally. It's underused in the home kitchen, but it's actually really easy to prepare. And once you've prepared it, you're left with this clean white piece of protein that can take on the flavours of pretty much anything you add to it, and is really easy to cook with. So it's really something you should be getting out there and having a go at. Before you get going, you're going to want to set up, make sure you've got everything you need in place. We've got the squid, we've got our chopping board. We've got our kitchen paper, and we're just going to make sure that our chopping board is nice, safe and secure. Little damp cloth underneath. There we go, that's not going anywhere. We've got our bucket of fresh cold water. This can just as easily be a bowl in your sink if you prepare next to it, but my sink's all the way over there and I can't really film there. So anyway, bowl of fresh clear water. A pair of good kitchen scissors. These are actually the most useful thing for preparing squid. It's really, really simple. You don't need anything in terms of knife skills or anything like that. Good pair of scissors will see through most of this. But obviously we've got our trusty cook's knife as well. A couple of extra bowls, and you'll see why in a little while. The ever-present rubbish bucket. You may say to me, well, I've got a kitchen bin, I don't need a rubbish bucket. But believe me, when you're preparing anything at all, having a rubbish bucket there to hand will help you work cleaner, work quicker, and work in a more professional manner. Okay, let's get on the squid then. So, first of all, this squid is going to need a good wash. You'll find inside there's loads of sand, bits and pieces. No one wants to eat that. So give them a good swirl around, and we're going to work with them from the water bucket. So we have our squid here in the water. It's given it a little bit of a clean, gotten rid of the worst of the sand and the bits and pieces. We're going to give them another clean later on once we've got it broken down into the separate parts. So, you see now why we have the two extra bowls, because we're going to separate the squid into two parts that we're going to work with. So here's the thing itself. You've got the body here. This is the bit that most people will recognise. This is the part that you'll cut across there to make your calamari rings that you know from restaurants near the beach when you're on holiday, etc. And the tentacles there, which are super tasty, though on some people's banned list. And then you have these here, which are the wings, which are also really nice to eat, though you might not be familiar with seeing them particularly. We're going to use them today alongside the tentacles in a bit that we're going to chop up and stuff inside the body. Okay, so we're going to work, as I said, in two separate parts. So what we need to do is just separate it all out a bit. You'll feel along this edge of the squid here, there's this clear plastic, what they call quill, which is a piece of cartilage holding the structure of the body. That just very easily just slides out like that. And we have the clear, feels like plastic quill, that goes in your bin. And then gripping the head, you can see just above, there's this little flappy bit by here. Holding onto that, you can just gently remove most of the innards all at the same time. Okay, this bit here is not going to be pleasant to eat. This is, you see here, this is what the squid had for dinner, and we're not going to want to eat that. Ditto the the eyes and the upper bit of the head. So we're just going to, using our scissors, cut just above where the tentacles join, and you have then the tentacles held together just at the top of the body. We're going to use them later on. This bit here, you can see where the mouth was there, and the innards, we're going to throw in the bin because we don't want to eat that. Then we have the body itself. You can find there's still some bits and pieces on the inside, but we're going to get to them in a second. The wings we're going to remove just quickly. They're attached just by this thin membrane. Just simply slide your finger underneath, and they will come off. At the same time you take them off, you can take off any remaining bits of outer skin. It just pulls very easily away from the body. So, we're going to want to clean the inside of this body now. Now, if I was going to use this to grill quickly or to put onto barbecue, all I would do is with my kitchen scissors, up the inside and cut it along. Open it out to make one sheet, and then that you can very easily clean, quickly score with your knife and throw into a super hot pan or onto a barbecue, salt, pepper, squeeze a lemon. Absolutely fantastic, and that's the squid that everyone knows and loves. But this time around, what we're going to do is we're going to stuff this, so we're going to keep the body intact, but we do want to clean the inside. So the way we're going to do that is to turn it inside out. Just push your finger through, very simply, turn it inside out, and you can see there's just some little bits of membrane and stuff in here that you're not going to want to eat. And we just pull away gently anything that isn't the sort of plain white flesh of the squid. There we are. And then, because we're going to stuff this, we're just going to use that and turn it back the right way round, the same method we used before. Just push your finger down through the top. Honestly, it's like playing with a balloon. And there we are. That goes into our body bit. The wings, what we just want to do here is peel off this skin from the outside. It comes off very, very easily. You can just do it with your hand. You don't need any kind of special tools to prep these. This is what I was saying. They're really easy to prep. A pair of scissors, your hands, that's all you need. And then we have the wings. I'm just going to remove those last little bits and pieces of the membrane. And then we're going to add them to the bucket with the tentacles, because we're going to chop them up and use them to form part of the stuffing that's going in the squid. Quick clean up these little bits of skin and bits and pieces. Make sure our workstation is clean and tidy. And we'll crack on with the rest. Right, so as you can see, we've prepped the rest of our squid, and now we have it separated into the bodies and into the tentacles and wings. We're just going to give these one more little wash through, because as I'm sure, if you've come this far, as I'm sure you've discovered, you get all sorts in there. You'll find them full of sand, sometimes you'll obviously find ink, sometimes more than others, and you'll find quite often small fish in various stages of digestion. Sometimes not so small fish. Sometimes you find fish the size of which you can't believe that squid's managed to fit inside its body. But anyway, they're all clean now, and what we're going to do is these bodies we are going to put back into the fridge now, because we're not going to use them until later on, after we have prepared our stuffing. If you want to see the full recipe for the stuffed squid, head to partisanblog.com, where you'll find the rest of the ingredients and the stuffing and everything. Body all cleaned. Couple of other options for you at this stage. If you don't want to push ahead and do the stuffed squid recipe from the blog, I can completely understand that. Couple of other options for you. At this stage, like I said, cut like that into rings. They can then be tossed in a light batter, or even just in a little bit of flour that's been well seasoned and deep fried for your classic calamari wings. As we talked about before, knife through, cut along there, open it all up, and then on the underside, the inside skin, as it were, quickly just lightly score into a little crisscross pattern, and then onto a hot barbecue, onto a grill, and that's just superb. When you cut the crisscross pattern, you just ensure it cooks through really, really quickly. With squid, there's two ways of cooking squid. It's really quickly or really slowly. And what you do by cutting those crisscross patterns, nice hot grill, quick as a flash, lovely, beautiful, tender squid, good to go. Other than that, these bits and pieces, as I say, they also stand up well to the very basic toss in well-seasoned flour and deep fry. They're also delicious done in exactly the same way. You can also use these other bits and pieces. You can flash fry them and make a salad with them, or you can even cut this into small little strips, fry them off and have them with pasta, perhaps with some lemon and fennel, like we're going to use for the stuffing, or anything else that you might come to. So, for the time being, as I say, these are just going to go into our fridge now. So the bodies have gone into the fridge. We're just going to give these tentacles and wings a really good wash. You can see most of the colour of that water now. You can see where it's gone a little bit grey has come from the traces of ink that were left in there. Is perfectly fine. What you're most worried about is the sand. So anything you're handling, just make sure there's no sand to it. So with the tentacles, as I say, they're delicious, just floured and fried as they are. But we're going to use them as part of the stuffing. So we're just going to roughly chop them and have them later on. So the wings the same, we're just going to roughly chop them to form part of our stuffing. But you could very easily, with those wings, just cut them into strips, fry them off, have them through pasta, or cut them in flour and deep fry them, or who knows, any number of squid dishes out there. So that's our basic how to prep squid. Head to, as I say, head to the blog for the full recipe, and anything else, come see us on the social medias. Come and see us on @partisanblog on Instagram, @blogpartisan on Twitter, or @partisanblog again on Facebook, or obviously at the website. We'll see you there.